Alright, let's do it. I just started and there's already shit I forgot about in here. I forgot, I forgot that there's that ambience in this, like, synth or whatever at the beginning. Like, before the song actually kicks in. Okay.
How could I ever sleep at night?
So I haven't listened to this, I haven't listened to it all the way through in years. Maybe not since, like, the year it came out or something? I don't fucking know when I last did it. I don't know. God, my voice here, it's like... it's so much of the, like, Logic flex pitch thing, you know? And, like, I like how it sounds, you know? But it's like... I definitely wasn't afraid of, like, people knowing that, like, I wasn't hitting the pitches, you know? Like, I like overt Autotune and stuff, and, like a couple months after this came out, like, 1000 Gex came out, and I heard that, and I was like, fuck, man, I could have been getting weirder. I was, like, holding back, you know? Yeah, anyway, here's the... So this section's inspired by, What a Fool Believes by the Doobie Brothers, but, like, specifically Neil Cicerega's remix of it, where he puts In the End by Linkin Park over it, like the vocal for that. It used to have a much uglier vocal, and I'm actually really glad I went this direction, because the, like, really ugly vocal is kind of funny, but this is, like, I don't know. Yeah, it's like that, or it's like Talking Heads. We were real big on Talking Heads then. Like, I was getting really deep into, like, speaking in tongues and Remain in Light, you know? And I loved this kind of funky shit. I don't know. I love these synths. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the Prophet 5 VST. I still use that. I heard that was the synth on Everything in Its Right Place, and then I just started putting it on everything. Not even doing that sound, just like... It's really versatile anyway. So this song, like... What do I even say about it? Like... People say it's a Christmas song. I don't know, man. When I was talking about Christmas lights, like, to me that was always like when you get your first apartment, like you're living alone for the first time, and it's like just putting Christmas lights on the wall is like something where it's like, oh, now I'm like a cool early 20-something, you know? Like I'm making this place my home, you know? Horns on here by our friend Tony, who's like a literal trumpet doctor, has a PhD in playing trumpet. Very cool guy. I don't know, I listen to this shit and I'm like, this album is so fucking messy sounding. Like, why do people like this? No, it's the... This song, like, as a whole is like a big Jeff Rosenstock homage, if anything else, and by which I mean it's a big Jeff Rosenstock ripoff. They could take like a song like Twinkle or something, where it starts with the piano and then, you know, that's kind of his thing. But Jeff Rosenstock will not listen to our music because too many people tell him to, and I respect that so much because I do that all the time. This is everybody in the band, plus Dax, I think, doing the gang vocals. It's really discordant, but that's kind of the whole point of gang vocals, like nobody's gonna sing in tune. It's like when you have a group of people doing like Happy Birthday or whatever, you know? Like it never sounds good, you know, but that's not the point. The screams. Yeah, I was really into like Yamatsuka Ai, like Boredoms and like what's that other band? Hanatarash. Oh my god, here we go. Here's this song. Yeah, you know, I fucking hated this album for a long time. I really did. But I think now I'm at a point where I'm like, I can see myself like not being in this band and discovering this album and liking it, you know? Because like I listen to like Stomach Book and I hear the influence and I'm like, this shit is beautiful, you know? Like, more Talking Heads kind of stuff here, you know? This song came from a dark place, though, let me tell you, like, hold on, let me have a little more of this whiskey. I always really like songs where the darkness is kind of hidden in it, you know? Or where the lyrics and the music are telling you a different story. I mean, that goes back in music. I think people think that's, like, some new weird thing, but that's just like how music is, I think, like deeply, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I grew up in a bedroom community, and like the first time I heard that term, it kind of like stuck in my head, and it was one of those things where it's like, put it in a notes app, like it'll be a title list something one of these days, you know. But yeah, no, I mean, this is a trans song, like no question, like. I know there's more overt stuff like Yoshi's Island or whatever where people pick up on that, but it's like, I mean, when I was talking about like a girl never leaving her bedroom, it's like, it doesn't mean like, I mean, I kind of always, that was like a metaphor for being closeted or whatever, you know, but I think it took on an increasingly literal meaning when we had the, you know, the thing that happened in 2020, and then like everybody got quarantined, and then everybody kind of became super agoraphobic, low-key, you know? Yeah. I mean, it's murder. I think I was really pissed off when I made this album, you know, and I think I wouldn't have made it if I wasn't so pissed off. Because I remember having a conversation with the rest of the band, like, I think there were, and it probably says a lot that I can't even remember who it was, but there's some famous, there was some, like news about another, like, trans woman committing suicide, and I was just, like, it just fucked me up, like, how big of an issue that is, and how, like, over and over again, it's just kind of like, oh, this is just a thing that happens, you know, and there's God, I mean, shit's only gotten worse since back then, you know, it's kind of, it's yeah. Everybody in the band sing again, and some, like, real ugly chords here, you know, this was peak, like, me being into, like, jazz and jazz fusion, and, like, oh, I'm gonna learn about altered dominant chords, and I'm gonna learn every scale, and I'm gonna play giant steps, and, you know, here's this solo here, like, it's real, like, bebop here. Damn. I did play that solo, but like I heavily edited it after the fact, and when I play it live, it's a lot sloppier, and sometimes I just throw some like Sugar Ray in there or something. There's a couple of songs that I've thrown in there live just as little funny references. Just singing no, 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 no over and over again. I mean, like, I don't know, it's real. I was really just trying to throw as many, like, like non-lyrical vocals in there as I could, because I wrote more music than I could write lyrics for, and all the parts where I have lyrics, it's like a million words at a time. it's absurd. I don't know how I wrote this kind of music, and this vocal's nasty. This is gnarly. I mean, this was before I learned how to like scream without hurting your voice, and now I have learned like proper screaming technique, and I gotta say, like, it's just it's not the same if you're not hurting yourself, you know? It's theater of cruelty. Like, it's not, it's all theater, but like if it doesn't have that realness, like, I don't know. It's why I can't get into a lot of metal music. It's just like, yeah, it's loud and everything, but like I don't feel pain. I do like a lot of modern metal also. I'm just picky. Beautiful, my Bill Evans chords. There's a Bill Evans lick in there that's ripped straight from one of his versions of All the Things You Are. I think it's on Portrait in Jazz or something. I don't know. That's actually probably totally wrong. Oh, so this is a cover of a song called Forever by somebody. It's like some real old song. And I just thought, I mean, it speaks to this kind of classic Americana sort of, you know, it's like, oh, I'm gonna love you forever, baby, you know? and you're just picturing like 50s suburbia or whatever. And it's just like, this comes at it with a real, like, bleak perspective, I think. Like, it's like a deeply oppressive feeling, you know, when it's like, that's not a world that was made for you, you know? It's a really beautiful song, though, and I look at the YouTube comments for this, like, from time to time, and people will just be telling their, like, life story. Like, they'll, like, be talking about, like their loved ones passing away and stuff on it, and it's amazing to me, like, because there's no lyrics or anything, you know, but, like, people do get that specific, like, I mean... Can you even use the word nostalgia anymore? I feel like it doesn't mean anything anymore, but you know, that real longing for like something that you'll never have. Sample of me when I was like, what, like 7, 8? Those chords at the beginning are wild too. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of the album, and I feel like it doesn't get any appreciation. I don't know. I remember, so like, back when I used to like read like Rate Your Music reviews and stuff, like I remember somebody saying this song was like dystopian, and I was just like, this was just shit that I wrote in my notes app like when I was working DoorDash in the San Fernando Valley. Like, this is just, it's not even like particularly like bleak or anything. It's just kind of, you know, like there were whole areas there where there were shopping malls and movie theaters and stuff that were just kind of rotting, you know. It's like I don't know. The title came from this like Halloween mask that Dax had that was just labeled Bone Skull, which was always so fucking funny to me because it's just kind of like what do you call it? Like, it's a tautology. It's like, of course it's bone, it's a skull. I love this outro. This album, it's pretty weird. It goes some places. And like, I don't know. I think at the time it really bothered me when people wanted to focus on the sort of power pop, like emo kind of side of it and kind of just treat this stuff as just like some filler on it or something. Cause it really like all was like equally important to me. You know, I like I like a panoramic image. I like, you know, I like to have all these different extremes and everything. God, this shit's cool. I literally mean it when I said I haven't listened to this album in years. Like, obviously, like, you know, we played the songs and stuff, but like, having a memory of how a song goes in my head versus like hearing the recording of it, very different. Neon Glow, the Theremin. So this one is the only song on the album that was recorded by my brother. And he apologized to me for this mix. And I mean, like, I get that it kind of doesn't totally match up with a lot of the rest of the album, but like, I think it's a nice mix. Like, it just kind of feels like a little anachronistic. Like, everything else is so blown out, so, you know, digital, online, whatever fucking word you want to say, you know. But this feels more like this is like an indie band from like 1989 or something, you know. Like loved the glockenspiel back then. I still love glockenspiel. Like, there's like a point where it starts to sound like an iPhone commercial, but like, you know, tasteful glockenspiel. It's beautiful. So yeah, I mean, I talked in the documentary about this fucking song. I don't know. Anyway, what was I gonna say? What was I talking about? Oh, I was talking about Bone Skull. I was talking about the San Fernando Valley, the abandoned shopping malls and all that, you know. Hey man, like, why do I say man? You're not a man. That's disrespectful. Well, unless you are a man, in which case, hey man. But hey, like, whoever's listening to this, like, if you ever like become famous enough that you get like a ton of Rate Your Music reviews, you don't need to read all of them. You really don't. Okay. You know, I have moments sometimes where I get real obsessive and I like kind of self-flagellate with like the worst shit that people say about me online, and I don't need that. I don't need to do that. I mean, I've gotten that impulse pretty under control these days. I never was like name searching on Twitter or anything like that, because I believe, you know, there's lots of stuff that I would say about, you know, other bands or whatever, like oh, I fucking hate this band or this album or whatever, and it's like, I don't want to go and tell the people who did it like, fuck you, you made something bad. It's like, no, like, clearly, like, anybody who manages to get an audience, they're doing something good, they're doing, you know, they're fulfilling themselves. I don't care about that, you know. So I look at it that way, and I'm like, I'm fine with like people saying whatever they want to say, like, just in their little like you know, I feel like it's better if it's not like, oh, the person this is about is like booming over you constantly, you know. Oh, I love how this section sounds. See, this is why I don't think the mix of this song is bad. Like, this whole B section is beautiful. Like, yeah. And, you know, it's almost like a Brave Little Abacus mix. Like, it's just a little like, things aren't leveled that well, the drums aren't that high. And it's gonna sound like I'm ragging on them. I fucking love the Brave Little Abacus, you know? Like, Adam's like one of the nicest people in the world, too. Like, genuinely. He said some very nice stuff about my music. Here's the most popular song from this album. I think this song is cool. It's like, I feel like this has so much of the sort of weirdness of the rest of the album or whatever, but it's in a tight package. Yeah. Oh man. I did. So I did not use a lot of autotune on this album, but I understand why people think it's all autotune because I was just going hard with the flex pitch, you know. And like later I'd like move on to like Melodyne, which is like better than flex pitch, I think. And I use autotune from time to time, but you know, I'm one of those people like autotune is like an effect, you know. It's not like I mean, nobody in the fucking world uses autotune to pretend they can sing in key. That's Rick Beato bullshit. Get that out of my face. Yeah, so this song was about one person, and then it changed to being about another person, and I think the person that it's actually about probably deserves it better. I don't know. So gay, okay. Look at me, I'm so clever. I'm like the best lyricist of my time, aren't I? I can't believe people take me seriously. Oh, Orange County. Listen. I kind of doxed myself in this song. I mean, I wasn't living there at the time, obviously, but that's like, I would not have done that if I knew how many people would listen to this. And yeah, also the smell, you're not supposed to drink outside the smell, that's illegal. It's fun, it's fun to get drunk. Hold on, let me have more whiskey. Man, I thought I was gonna be sad, but I'm so giggly. So this was a guitar part that I wrote for another band that was also called Glass Beach, coincidentally. I mean, what do I even need to say about this one? I don't know. I can talk about some other shit, like, I don't know. Where are we about to get to? Oh, Glass Beach is next. Oh, let me tell you about Glass Beach. So, like, I started writing that song when I was still living in Texas, and then I basically ran away from home, and I stayed with some family for a little bit, and then I got an apartment, and then that lease ended and I had no money, so I lived on the couch of my friend William. Not the drummer of Glass Beach William, but my friend William, who sings for a very lovely band called Kara's Walk Home. One of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. Like, genuinely. Big inspiration, like, as a person and as an artist, like, and yeah, so, there's a lot of stuff in this one. I remember writing the chorus while I was staying with some like extended family when I moved out to California for the first time after running away from Texas. My aunt had this big like grand piano in her apartment, and I figured out the chorus on piano, and then later moved it on a guitar. But a lot of this was written about a friend of mine around that time who, like, she was dealing with very, like, overbearing, abusive, controlling parents because she had, like, a medical condition and they didn't, like, trust her to handle it herself. So they were, you know, it was very, like, a, you know, we know what's best, you know, you can't do this, that'll be bad for you, you can't do this, you know. And we, like, I didn't know her for very long, but we had a little chat one night, and we talked about, like, you know, like, being, like, suicidal and stuff, you know, and that's kind of where a lot of this comes from, it's just kind of, yeah, I mean, this really was writing about that moment where it's like, yeah, there's absolutely, like, nothing that either of us can do to make either of our situations better, you know? But there's at least, like, for a moment, some solidarity. there's, you know, it's bleak, honestly. But, like, so much of this is because I was so fucking depressed then, you know? Oh, that last riff was ripped off from Seisha. This was ripped off from something else. I don't know. Maybe you can figure it out. In a minute, I do an inhale scream. Those are really bad for you. But you know what I was saying? Like, you gotta... No, I'm not gonna say you gotta hurt yourself. That's bad advice. Yeah, I mean... You know, going no contact with family. Oh, and I mentioned Yuki, who was the counselor when I was in college. Yeah. Basically, like, back then, like, I was, like, hurting myself a lot. Like, I was, like, cutting my wrists and stuff. Not just wrists, like, kind of all over. And, like, a friend of mine was, like, very concerned about me, very rightfully so, and did the right thing and, like, helped me, like, you know, get into contact with, like, the school counselor about it, like, trying to figure out, you know, trying to get some actual help. And I basically emailed the counselor and said I was gonna kill myself. And of course she was very alarmed, and that wasn't Yuki, that was somebody else. And, you know, she referred me to this Yuki, who referred me to some psychologist guy who said that I was bipolar, and still am. Ooh. Alright. Let's go into this 5/4 math rock bridge, baby. There used to be a spoken word part over this, and honestly, I'm pretty glad I didn't put that in, because I don't know, man. I need to stop saying man. I'm like my audience is all trans women. Let's be so real. No, that's not true. There's men listening. To all the men, hey, shout out to men and shout out to women, okay? Don't kill yourself. Like, whoever you are, don't kill yourself. I can say I'm glad I didn't. Yeah, this is... I can't believe I released this and let other people listen to it. I mean, you know, yeah, here I'm talking about sleeping on couches and stuff. I mean, the truth is, like, if you are in a home situation where, for whatever reason, you don't feel like... I mean, you know, if it's not safe for you, like, anything you could, to get out of that and live on a couch and be broke, like, that's better, like, legitimately, than living comfortably with people who don't respect you. This is the part that Anthony Fantano said is cringe. No, he didn't say that. He was very kind to it, actually. No bad blood, no disrespect. I respect what he does a lot. He did say some people might be turned off by the kind of lyricism in this, but I mean, for me, like, at this time, like, and really this was William from Carrie's Walk Home's influence. Like, I liked directness. I liked to not use metaphors and just say how I'm feeling, you know. And I think you know, with Plastic Death, like the whole thing was like, oh, we're not doing that anymore. But I don't know. I think it's speaking to me more these days, because just there's a level of just like, you're not supposed to say that in a song, you know, that I think speaks to a passion, or you know, it makes it real. This chorus, this is good. I heard the song in a porn video once. Not like anything professionally produced, just like somebody's OnlyFans. I'm gonna change the topic. Can you imagine fucking to this? Okay. Blood Rivers. I mean, this is just like a rip-off of Tree Fingers off of Kid A. Everything's a rip-off of something. I'm sorry to inform you. Whatever you think is the most innovative, original thing you've ever heard of, like, you just haven't heard what they're ripping off, I promise you. You know, Tree Fingers was ripping selected ambient works, like, whatever. Who gives a shit? Like, copyright is fake. Capitalism is fucking killing the planet, destroying the human soul, you know? I don't even know what to say right now. We're coming up on Dallas. That's another, it's an you know, I really talked about that song a lot, like it was about nothing. It's a Dada poem. It doesn't mean anything. What it means is your interpretation, bitch. No, it's what the fuck am I doing? More whiskey, please. I love this song. I think I said for a long time this was my favorite song off of this album. I'm not sure that I still feel that way, but this song was definitely a breakthrough for me. I think this song is as much of a vent post as like Glass Beach or Bedroom Community is, you know? But I think I hit it in a metaphor a little bit, which is the most evil thing that I ever did in my life, honestly. See, like, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna dox myself. People know I'm from Dallas-Fort Worth. Like, not from Dallas, but I would go to Dallas often, and Dallas was always this kind of... Dallas is a bleak place. Dallas will make you, I don't know if... you might not believe in God, but you'll believe in the devil if you go to Dallas. Anyway, like... So I talked a lot about how I was pulling words out of a hat, but like I was really trying to write about feeling this disconnect from where I was from and where I was and all that, you know, and it's pointing at something, and it's not saying it, but it's pointing at something real hard, you know. But you don't know my life. You don't know who I am. I know who I am, and I know what I'm writing about. but you don't know. And it's not like it's a funny little riddle or something. It's not a funny. You can try to solve. You can try to solve my. I'm the riddle master. Solve my funny riddle. What the fuck am I doing? I will give you love. Don't write. Don't bite. Stay motionless. People. I put that in a song and people still act like this is like wholesome, like tender queer music. Man, like. This is the most 2019 moment because I'm doing fucking triplet flow. You think I'm fucking Migos? You think I'm fucking Migos? I don't think I'm Migos. You were part of the skyline. It's really like that, you know? I don't know, read like Deleuze and Guitar-y or something, or whatever. I don't know. You just read shit like that when it's like too cringe to just be like, oh, I'm so emo. I don't know what I mean by that. Steve Reich sample, shout out, man. I love Steve Reich. I don't know. That man has made some beautiful music. And he's never sued us or anything. Even though we didn't clear the sample. Isn't he so awesome? What a nice guy. I talked to Skylar Spence about that, because I was like, hey, are we gonna get in trouble for this? Like, you're like a guy who uses samples, like, and Skylar was like, yeah, I know people who know Steve Reich, and he's the chillest guy about sampling you'll ever meet, because he's been using samples in his music since like the 70s or whatever, you know? So cool. Yeah, this song is super fucking depressing though. One of these days I might write a song that doesn't make you wanna. Here. I had such a way of singing back then. I don't know if I could do it anymore. Like, I don't know. Like, it's the kind of singing that you only do when you don't know how to sing, you know? And I think maybe now I know how to sing too much. I always try to let myself be a little rougher though, because I like that realness, you know? Like some of my favorite singers ever, like Adam from the Brave Little Abacus, like William from Cares Walk Home, like legitimately some of my favorites. Like Daniel Johnston is the musician who made me want to sing. And it's because he's not a good singer, but yeah, he's not a good singer because, he doesn't hit the pitches very well, and his voice is weird, and his pitch is really wobbly and stuff, and he writes about, like, Casper the Ghost and stuff, and it's like, yeah, but, like, it makes me cry, so... Oh. A rat castle. Can you believe people say this album has, like, filler on it? I don't think any of this stuff is filler. Like, maybe Rat Castle is filler, but, like, I don't know. You're gonna be like, man, there's too many ingredients in my sandwich. This is so cool. This is a really good album. Has anybody noticed that? I literally, like, have hated this album for so long. I've been the biggest hater of this album. All you people out there on the internet, all you people writing music or whatever, hey man, I hate myself more than you could ever hate me. No, that's not true. I don't hate myself. I kind of hate myself, but I'm trying. Hey, I'm working on it. Listen. I shouldn't say stuff like that. Let's build our own city. Let's build our own city. You know, let's build our own city. That's what I'm saying right there. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. This is probably the most filler song. It's just kind of, it's fun. I don't know. I like how it sounds. The first bit came from like me doing like a Bad Animal Collective impression when I was 15. Like literally there's some audio on this that I recorded as a teenager. Like, that's the thing about debut albums is like you can pull from like all the music that you made up to that point. And then when you have to make a second album, it's like, okay, you have like a couple years, you know? Even if you're like us and you take 5 years, you know? Hey, maybe in another 5 years I'll do this for Plastic Death. I don't know. I kind of hate that album right now, so... The percussion on this, like, what am I doing? Like, who am I? What do I think I'm doing? Oh. Okay, now here's the stuff. Here's the stuff that Fantano really hates. I made this specifically to make Anthony Fantano call my voice grating. No, I swear to God, I like this song a lot, honestly. I think if you're gonna like this album, you have to be on board with just accepting a lot of ugliness, you know? I think the thing that irritates me sometimes is when people think that stuff on this album is ugly on accident, when it's like, no. I mean, well, some of it is ugly on accident. But I would say overall, I was listening to the music. I knew when shit was like kind of obnoxious or ugly sounding, like, and I let it slide because I thought that it was good. I thought that it was what it needed. I like ugly music. I will tell people that the biggest compliment I will give music is that it's ugly. This is the one place where I used Autotune on the album. You know, so, like, around this time, I was surrounded by electronic musicians. Like, people who were doing, like, you know, future bass or, like, nightcore kind of stuff or whatever. That's what I was surrounded by at the time. That and chiptune. And a little bit of emo. I mean, there's the fucking formula for the album. It's the mix of those things. God, I am drunk. I can't finish my sentences. Hi. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I was surrounded by people who were using Autotune and stuff, you know? Like, and I think people see this as coming more from like emo, power pop, bedroom pop, you know. But like, there was an enormous amount of that kind of like future bass influence or whatever. And then like, you know, like hyperpop before they called it hyperpop. There was stuff, I remember I had a version, I mean, you people have the demos, you probably fucking heard it. Maybe I'll do a commentary on the demos one of these days, but there was a, God, I forgot about these chords in this. Why do people hate this song? This is fucking beautiful. What was I gonna say? There was literally some shit that was like Euro dance, like it was like full on like nightcore kind of shit. And I had a version of the song Soft that was like that, and I remember showing it to William, and William was like, I fucking hate that caramel dance and shit. And I was like, okay, message received. I think I honestly remember this song sounding worse than it does, and I was still ready to defend it, remembering it sounding really bad. No, I mean, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I will be the biggest defender of my music and also the biggest critic. That's just how it is to be a person who makes music, isn't it? Like on one hand, you kind of need to be full of yourself to even want to put music in the world in the first place. Like, if you think that your music is like bad, like, are you gonna put it up on Bandcamp and SoundCloud and stuff? I don't know. But also, like, I feel like you gotta be a little bit self-critical. You gotta keep it in check. But like, if you're so full of yourself, you're never gonna grow, you know? Yeah. So honestly, there's demos of this song that are better. I love the pitch down vocals on this though, because I really wanted to go for like the gender ambiguity. Oh yeah, because I was a fucking tranny. Why did I say it like that? What the fuck is wrong with me? Yeah, no, I knew I was a trans woman when I was writing this stuff. I'm a fucking idiot for pretending I mean, let's be so real, like, I'm not a fucking idiot. Why am I, do you people really want to just hear me, like, bash myself over and over again? I gotta chill with this, okay. So, like, like, when this album came out, I think that I knew, like, when it started to get attention and stuff, I mean, actually a little bit before it even got attention, I just knew that being, like, so visible and public as a trans woman was just, like, it was gonna backfire for me. Shit was gonna go bad, you know? And, hey, that's still true, but I think I've come to this point where it's like, hey, that's a whole lot better than living in fear and shame. I think it's way better to just be honest with yourself and not try to hide who you are inside so that you can have success in the music industry. Because let's be real, nobody's successful in the music industry anymore. Why do you think, who is genuinely, like, every single pop star out there has a side hustle, you know? The people making the most money off of music make more money off of other shit. So what's the point of trying to make money off of music? Just fucking be yourself. If you're transgender, make transgender music and just be real. Just be honest about who you are, you know? Like, you gotta, whatever, there is happiness for you. I know I sound like I'm not fucking happy right now. I am happy. I'm a happy person. I just gotta keep myself in check sometimes, you know? But, oh, hey, I mean, here's a song about being transgender. how did people hear this and think I'm not a fucking trans woman? Like, people are so funny. This is such a funny earth we live in. This is such a funny world. That's what it is it's funny, you know? It's nothing else but funny. It just makes me laugh. The state of the world in 2024. What was I saying? Yeah, cry in the bathroom floor when you look in the mirror. Man, oh my god. I was so transgender. And people heard this and they're like, oh, it's like about a trans woman. It's not autobiographical. Who the fuck? Actually, some people even think it's like transphobic. I mean, like, not a lot of people, and they've been corrected, you know? But, like, yeah, I don't know. I was buying, like, gray market estrogen, like... I don't know why this song is called that, by the way. I don't know. Don't ask me. It's vibes. I could give an explanation, but, like, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't know. Why does the grass grow, you know? There's a part where I played... it's a sample of the guitar riff from the Captain Jazz song. Oh my god, I love trans people so much. Which I guess means I have to love myself. But... no, I was so transgender when I wrote this. Every night I play this and people sing, well, not every night. I'm not touring every night. Every night I'm on tour, I'm playing this and people are singing along and stuff. We close with it and it's like, yeah. And I was doing that and I was like, yeah, I'm just non-binary though. Like, fucking idiot. No. No, I'm gonna, okay. Maybe I can't be self-positive, but I can be self-neutral. I am a person! Yeah, this stuff is cool. Listen, if you're transgender and your, like, parents have a problem with it, fucking run away. Get the fuck out of there. Fuck your parents. Kill them. I don't give a fuck. You are more important. Take care of yourself. For the love of God. Like, who gives a fuck what these boomers think? You want to be happy, don't you? Like, if you want to be a girl, like, just do it. If you want to be a boy, like, just do it. You can be anything. You can just go and fucking buy hormones if you want. You don't need a prescription. You can just go get it. I mean, like, you know, like, you should learn how to do it the right way. You should learn the risks. But listen, every single fucking person that you talk to is gonna try to discourage you. And it might work on you. And that's why you just need to be fucking so certain. You know, like, people are gonna say, like, oh, if you take like estrogen, you're gonna have heart problems. And it's like, fucking bitch, you it's just that women have more risk of blood clots. And if you want to be a woman, there is going to be things that are going to change physiologically. And it means you're going to have some things that are more of a risk and some things that are less of a risk. But you know what? If you want to be transgender and you go and you take hormones, you transition, you know what? You're going to get rid of the biggest risk, which is fucking killing yourself. So just go and fucking do it. My God, I took too fucking long to do it. I'm not an idiot. I'm a fucking beautiful human being. I'm not an idiot, but I do kind of feel like I'm an idiot. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself, you know? You can never guarantee that anybody else will love you. But you can love yourself, you know? Oh man, here's the last song. What's it about? It's about balls. Why did I say that? No, I mean, like, it is really funny to me when I learn about, like, orchiectomy and shit. Did I even pronounce that right? I don't know. Just, like, orchid, like, referring to testicles, and I'm like, oh, like, that's like a flower, though. That's, like, girly. But, I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you think this song is about? Like, if you like this album, if you're listening to this, you like this album. And if you like this album and you're listening to this, then this means something to you. I don't fucking need to tell you what it's about. All that I need to tell you is that if you think that you might be transgender, fucking transition. fucking do it. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm having a little bit of a meltdown here. Wow, this kind of sounds like Weezer, bro. This sounds like Weezer. This sounds like fucking Weezer, dude. It sounds like fucking Weezer. I mean, whatever, man. Maybe fucking Transition would have saved Rivers Cuomo. Why did I say that? I think I really hated myself when I made this album. Like, I really, really hated myself. And I think I still feel that, but I can listen to this and, like, this doesn't feel like it was made by me. Because it's been so long. It's been 5 years, which really, like, I'm in my late 20s. That's not that much to me, like, already. But it's long enough that this is some other person. This is not somebody that I know personally. And if I heard this from some other person, I would not fucking hate them. I would be truly compassionate and empathetic, you know? And it's, yeah, like, it's not me. I mean, it's me, but it's not me. And I think, like, I have a lot of compassion for the person who made this, you know? Like, I would hear this and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, first of all, are you okay? Like, do you need a hug or anything? You know, that's what I'd say if this was made by somebody else. I'd be like, hey, first of all, are you fucking okay? Second of all, pretty cool music. Like, I mean, there's some stuff that kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool. And then, like, third of all, like, fucking, are you taking estrogen? Because like, you should if you're not. Because every single part of your body and mind is, like, telling you exactly what you need right now. And I hope that you're not, I hope you're not pushing that down. I hope you're not trying to be a fucking man if you're not a man. Because you know who you are. You know deep down who you are. You know. Well, the album's over. I'm just going to keep going. Hey. You know, you little shit. I have a lot of compassion for the person who made that, you know, but it doesn't feel like me. And I think that's something that's really kind of tough to reconcile, you know, because it doesn't feel like I'm the person who made it. I've said this a million times. I'm talking in circles. What do I even say? What do I rate this album out of 5? Yeah, or out of 10. I don't know. I'm feeling a light to decent take estrogen on this. Like, the thing is, I was on HRT when I wrote a lot of this, and I stopped for 2 reasons. One, because I was wait, why did I stop? One, because I was broke, because it was hard to keep affording it. I was really broke. I mean, like I said, a lot of this, I was living on a couch then. I was practically fucking homeless when I was writing some of this, you know? Like, that was like a whole year, you know, that I didn't have, like, I mean, you know, I kind of feel a little bit weird about saying homeless because I had like an indoor place where I could like comfortably sleep, and a lot of people don't have that luxury, you know? But I really, like, I don't know, it was a weird way of living, you know? But yeah, so I was broke, and the other reason is just because I was fucking scared, you know? Because I got too high, and I was like, oh my god, everybody in the world is gonna hate me, you know? And that's not true, but also, if it is true, like, who gives a fuck? Like, if it's gonna make you love yourself, who gives a fuck what everybody else thinks, you know? Do I even need to keep this going? I don't know. Yeah, I was on HRT at the time, and I stopped, and I kind of went back into the closet right before this album came out, and like, you know, like, no disrespect to people who are AMAB and non-binary, and that is what they want to be, and they are happy with it. But for me, it was a fucking shield. It was a fucking facade, you know? Like, and I think I knew that. I think I knew that the whole time. I think I just knew I didn't want to be a man. I didn't want to be, like, I didn't want people to use he, him pronouns and stuff. I didn't want people to see me like that because it felt so wrong, you know? Like, so much of who you are is what other people see you as, you know? It's the Hegelian dialectic or whatever. Like, what's this voice? But you know, I knew that I didn't like people seeing me that way, you know? But I also knew that being assigned male at birth and trying to be a woman is the scariest fucking thing on earth. And listen, I mean it. I've seen Slender Man. I've seen Jeff the Killer. It is way, way scarier to try to pass as a woman when you feel like every single person that you come across is ready to tear down your facade, and it's not gonna just be, oh, you're not a woman, it's, oh, you are a sexual predator, You're a fucking animal. You're a beast. Get out of here. You're gonna kill me. You're gonna hurt me. You're a groomer. You're fucking... Oh my god. How is this the world that we live in? What the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, just chill the fuck out. But that's the constant threat, you know? That's the constant threat. You're not just seen as a man, you are seen as a threatening man, you know? And for me, I knew that I was never gonna get fucking conservatives to use they them pronouns for me. Like, people see they them pronouns and they're like, oh my god, it's fucking communism. And I it's so fucked up. It's just like but I knew at least among queer people I could have some modicum of respect. I could possibly maybe be seen as not a man, because I never... Here's the thing. If you're a trans woman, you never get a chance to be a man. You're desexed from, like, the fucking moment you're born, you know? It's like especially once you get to puberty, you know? Every single person is telling you, like, oh, I'm gonna take away your man card for this, or like, you're not a real man, or whatever. And at a certain point, you're like, yeah, I don't think I ever wanted that. Like, you can, yeah, take away my man card. I don't want it. Give me that woman card. That's what I really vibe with right now, if I'm being 100% totally honest. Yeah, so that's what you're told, you know? And then the second you try to be a woman, it's, oh, you're a man. I mean, I don't know. Go listen to Gloss. They told us we were girls, how we look, dress, act, and cry. They told us we were girls, so we claimed our female lives. Now they tell us we aren't girls, our femininity doesn't fit, we're fucking future girls living outside of society shit. That's so good. I fucking love that band. One of the best to ever do it. One of the best ever. One of the best ever. One of the best to ever do it. Yeah. Yeah. The first Glass Beach album by Glass Beach. I understand every single person who listened to this and became transgender, because I feel it. And I feel like every single person who listened to this and was like, this fucking sucks. I mean, for one, yeah, I agree. I get you. Because, like, I don't know. I'm not up my own ass. I try not to be up my own ass. I kind of hate myself, even today. I'm working on it. I promise I'm working on it. So listen. I know every single problem that you have with it. Yeah, I thought about that. I know. I know every single way that it sucks. But the people, I feel like if I listen to this and I didn't know the people who made it, I would be like, yeah, what the fuck? I gotta take some fucking estrogen. What am I doing? Like, listen, it's not like HRT is the only thing that matters in transitioning, but like, I promise you, if you were thinking about transitioning, if it's like, you should take HRT. You can always just stop it if it's not what you like, you know? But, I think people really like to reduce it to, like, physiological changes or whatever. No, it changes your brain chemistry. It is an antidepressant. It is. Okay? And listen, antidepressants don't work on me. Like, real antidepressants just make me, like, insane. I mean, neurodivergent. So, because I'm bipolar and other shit or whatever, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what's wrong with me? I don't know. If you listen to my albums, maybe you know what's wrong with me. Leave a comment with what you think is wrong with me. But yeah. No, I mean, you don't need it. Well, maybe you need SSRIs. I'm not going to say you don't need that. But if you think you should transition, you should take HRT, and you don't fucking worry about the doctors, because the doctors are going to be like, oh, are you really trans? Oh, this is going to give you blood clots or whatever. And it's like, I would rather fucking die from a heart attack as the most mid woman on earth. You know what you are. You know who you are. I know who I am. I knew who I was then, and I was afraid. And I didn't need to be afraid. When I put out this album, that was an act of not being afraid, you know? And I put it out and I was like, oh, everybody's gonna hate it. Nobody's gonna listen to it. And everybody who listens to it is gonna say that it sucks. No! But I put it out, and you know what? A lot more people than I expected listened to it. And you know what? A lot of the people who listened to it, they said that it was good. They said it was good. Like good. Like, I don't know. I can't believe I put this on the internet and let other people listen to it. It's like getting your diary published. I was telling on myself so bad. I might as well have put my home address and my credit card number and expiration date and the digits on the back and stuff. What the hell was I doing? You know what? Fuck it. Let's listen to the album again. Yeah, so this part was inspired by the Beach Boys. You ever hear about the Beach Boys? Do you ever listen to Brian Wilson? Yeah. Brian Wilson, man. What a guy to be inspired by. Yeah, so this piano here was inspired by Bill Evans. You know, people say this shit is like musical theater. I don't know anything about musical theater. I'm not a theater gay. I'm not a theater gay. I promise. I'm not a theater gay. I was a band kid. I did marching band. I played the trumpet at football games. I didn't play football because I was a huge fucking faggot. Okay, I did marching band. I didn't do theater. No disrespect to theater kids, because I feel like people who hate on theater kids, a lot of the time they're just like, you just hate flamboyant gay men or just queer people, like, or I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna go out here and like defend like Lin-Manuel Miranda or whatever. I don't know. That's not my battle though. Yeah, so do you ever listen to Talking Heads? Do you ever listen to Talking Heads? David Byrne, baby. I really, like, can never sleep. I mean, right now, at the moment that I'm recording this, it's 2:30 a.m., so I can't sleep at night right now. I've always had chronic insomnia, you know? And, like, I think part of it is, like, hey, when you're living, let me be vague. When you're repressing a big part of yourself and living somewhere where you're not totally comfortable being yourself, those moments where you can do what you want, totally alone, are really special. And when you live with your family, a lot of the time that means staying up late at night, you know? And you do that a lot as a kid. You go to school real sleepy, and you're practically falling asleep in class, and you get bad grades and all that, you know? Yeah, when you're doing all that, like, you develop a desire to stay up late at night, even when you are living alone, you know? Even when you are in control more in control of your life, you know? You just keep staying up because there's a peace in the nighttime, because you feel like nobody's judging you. You feel like you're by yourself and you can do anything you want, you know? Trumpets by Tony Sanders. Yeah, I already said this was a Jeff Rosenstock Bomb the Music Industry kind of ripoff. I don't know. I mean, like, I will knock some holes in the walls to make it more like a home. Like, I don't know. There's just so much pain in these songs, you know? Even the stuff that's real lighthearted and goofy like this, you know? This is like fucking Animaniacs music. I can't believe you'd listen to this. A lot of people said this sounds like When You Wish Upon a Star. Okay, listen, I already said I'm not a theater gay. I fucking swear I'm not a Disney gay either. I did not watch Disney movies as a kid, so I have no nostalgia for Disney. But there is a song by Ging Nong Boys that uses When You Wish Upon a Star, and it's pretty great. I really like Ging Nong Boys a lot. I love punk music with a lot of chords that's really melodic and pretty. Like, yeah, like 3 chords in the truth is cool, but what about 500 chords in the truth? Yeah, this song's fucking autobiographical. Like Ian Cohen called it. Yeah. I mean, like, yes, obviously. Every painting is a self-portrait. If you are making art, you're telling on yourself. If you're an artist, people know everything about you. You can't pretend that any of it is private. You can't hide behind a fucking metaphor. I know who you are. I've heard your music. I'm so hostile. I need to be a kinder, gentler person, don't I? Keep Satan out of the Remington shotgun rolled up sleeves. I mean, like, man, like fuck suburbia, fuck America, like, you know, abolish the family, all that shit. Like, that's like, if you've never heard of family abolition, let's look it up. Look it up, because I promise you that you vibe with it. It doesn't mean let's throw all the babies out in the streets, you know. Yeah, this is based on Faust. Everybody knows about Faust and Mephistopheles selling your soul to the devil. I mean, listen, Like, it's like fucking, I don't know, Bataille said or whatever. I can name a French guy and legitimize what I'm talking about. You are engaging in evil if you make art. If you are an artist, you are evil. You're selling your soul to the devil. That's not what I'm really. This is what I'm saying. I'm not speaking for any French person here. Melancholia can spread. You're just depressed because you think you're transgender. You're so wrong. I mean, really, like, a big part of it is, like, there's a level of exploitation that happens. I don't know. Listen, I'm gonna say this right now. If I die, like, it might not happen. Yeah, if I die, yeah, don't go and release all my demos. There's a fucking reason I didn't release them. Don't go and put my notebooks out there, you know? Like, I'm not Kurt Cobain, you know? Like, I'm not gonna hide proclivities towards transgender identity. I'm open about it, okay? I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate about Kurt Cobain. I'm a little more sympathetic to people who say that stuff about him now than I ever have been, though. Yeah, I don't know. If you think this sounds like Weezer, like, I don't know, you're wrong. If you think it sounds like AJR, I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. I really do like these songs a lot. Hey, listen, I'm drunk. I'm gonna be honest. I've been honest this whole thing. This album is better than Plastic Death to me right now. Like, no question. This is the kind of album that you can't you can't replicate. You can't make stuff like this. You can't make stuff like this when you're a successful musician. I'm gonna talk about Weezer again. You think Weezer's gonna make the Blue Album again? You really think Weezer is gonna make the fucking Blue Album again? There's something that you lose as a successful musician, you know? You lose that drive to make music for no other reason than it's just what you have to do, you know? Once making music becomes your job, you're just making music because it's your fucking job. And I made this album because what I was trying to say on it was so important to me that I was just gonna say it no matter what, you know? I wasn't on a label. I wasn't trying to sell t-shirts. I was just trying to fucking whine and bitch and moan, you know? This song was also inspired by that friend of mine that I mentioned when I was talking about Glass Beach earlier. This song, Glass Beach, because this friend was like really going through some rough stuff. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna use any real names here or anything, you know. I don't want you go search for anybody that I'm talking about here. This song is so beautiful. I don't remember how to play this. I'm probably never going to play it live because I don't remember how to play it. I think I literally have a tab out for it, actually, so I guess that's on me that I don't know how to play it anymore. I don't know how to play a lot of this stuff anymore. A lot of these deeper cuts, you know, I just focus on these bigger songs. But I mean, it all contributes, you know? But I know how it is, you know, albums have the songs that really stick out, especially the songs that really stand alone, you know. You have your singles and you have your album tracks, you know. And we only did one single for this album, but there's just some that have single vibes, you know. I'm so glad I don't work for DoorDash anymore. I feel like there's like a 90% chance if you're listening to this, you work a really shitty job. Actually, I'd say it's probably like a 99% chance. There's really not a lot of jobs out there that don't like destroy your soul. So if that's you, I feel for you, you know. I'm at a point where people can paint me as kind of out of touch with that because I'm just living off of passive income these days, you know. And that's fair. I sure fucking hated working for DoorDash. But I'll say this, it was a lot better than like any like real job. At least I can make my own schedule, you know. So if like if I stay up all night, then I don't have to worry about like, you know, not getting any sleep for my 9 to 5 or whatever. I can just work later the next day. And if I just want to get drunk or stoned or whatever, I just don't have to call in for work that day, you know? It's all, you can be your own boss. You can make your own money. Yeah, it's like less than minimum wage, but you get to be in charge. You get to be in charge. You should do it. You should work for Uber. You should work for fucking DoorDash, you know? You can be your own boss. You can make your own money. You can decide your own fucking hours, you know? You can decide your own hours if you want. Man, what a fucking sick, sad earth. I thought it was bad in 2016. Jesus Christ. This whole album feels... This is a post-Trump album. You know, in 2016, the president of the United States, they put a damn Cheeto in the White House. They put a damn Cheeto in the White House. And believe it or not, for the first time in American history, America was bad? There was a version of this album that was a lot more political. People have listened to the demo of Yoshi's Island or whatever, where it's like, you know, I don't know. There's a part where I rhyme faggot with fascist, and I'm like, kill all fascists. You know, it's very 2016, like, leftist. I mean, hey, No, don't get me wrong. I still feel that way, you know. It's just, it can feel so impotent to put something like that in a song, you know? I mean, to be clear, I think this album is very political still. But I think it was a little more overt before. I don't know. I mean, people really thought the world was gonna end, you know? And maybe it did in 2020. I don't know. But maybe it ended in 2016. Or maybe it ended on September 11th, 2001. Or maybe it ended in 1991 when the Soviet Union collapsed, you know? Or maybe it ended when Reagan was elected. Or maybe it ended during World War II. Or maybe it ended when humans evolved from fucking monkeys. I don't know. Like, the truth is, shit just keeps going on. There's almost a... I hate to use such an online term, but there's almost a cope to saying, like, the end of the world is coming, you know? We're gonna keep living, you know? We're gonna keep going. You gotta make the best of it, you know? Hey, shout out to Joe Biden for dropping out for being too cringe. That was pretty cool. I felt real hope. I felt hope on the level of Obama. Just to not have to think about this old man anymore. When the bombs fall, take me with you. Yeah, this song was inspired by post-sadism, but I mean, I don't know. Really, it's just like, oh, I have a bad habit of writing songs about the end of the world. Every single one of my songs is about the fucking apocalypse because I'm so depressed. Silence. This intro is in 5/4, which is a time signature. Well, a regular time signature has 4 beats to the measure. 5/4 has 5 beats to the measure. This song is so online, it's almost like 100 gex. It's so online. It's about the internet. And it's like, oh, hit me up on Line. Remember Line? Nobody fucking remembers Line. Everybody's on Discord now. Yeah, I mean, this song now is about my current partner, but like I wrote it about this. How many details do I want to include? This person that I fucked a little bit, but it didn't go anywhere, and they kind of ghosted me, and I was really fucked up about it. And I wrote this song. That's really sad. Can you believe that the band that made this made fucking Plastic Death? What the fuck was I thinking? I really don't miss Orange County. Fuck Orange County. Fuck Southern California in general. Although I will say, Los Angeles, I actually will apologize for to an extent, because if there's anything I'll defend LA for, good fucking food. My God. You want Mexican food? You'll find the best Mexican food in the world. You want Thai food? You'll find the best Thai food in the world. You want Ethiopian food? You want, like, whatever you want, any kind of cuisine from the entire fucking world, you will find somebody who does it well, and they are on DoorDash, and it does cost too much, but it will make you cry. The vocoder, it's a microKORG. Hey, who remembers microKORG? There's a good chance if you're listening to this, you're like 14 years old, and if you are, then you don't remember this era. But I'm a fucking boomer. I remember 2010 when microKORG was what you had if you were in some fucking scenecore band. You like Attack. You want to put an electronica breakdown in the middle of your deathcore song and it makes no fucking sense? Yeah, get the microKORG. It's tiny as fuck and you hit one key and it goes, you know, and that's... I knew some, I don't know, I was in high school and I was talking to my friends and I was like, yeah, I want to get a synthesizer. And some random guy came up to me and was like, oh, you want to get a synthesizer? I have a synthesizer. I'll sell it to you. And he sold me a microKORG at an enormous discount. And that synthesizer is on this album, believe it or not. Even though there was a little bit where I was a little bit homeless and it was staying in my car and it, a lot of sunlight, you know, kind of melted the keys a little bit, and so now it doesn't work that well. So I don't really use that synthesizer much anymore. But that's what the vocoder is on it. I like vocoder. You know Simoon by Yellow Magic Orchestra? Go listen to that song. It's beautiful. Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. If all you listen to is video game music, I'll give you 2 bands to check out. Yellow Magic Orchestra, Cassiopeia, okay? If you listen to only video game music, you will fuck with these bands, I promise. And then you can go listen to, you can branch out from there. God damn it. Yeah. This is this one cuts deep, you know? Yeah, I talked about my friend. I mean, it was kind of about me too, you know? Like I said, I really, I was like cutting myself a lot. You know, sometimes you feel like the biggest idiot because you can look back like 5 years ago and be like, oh my god, I'm so glad I didn't kill myself. And then you like still want to kill yourself and it's like, dude. I hate being called dude. Why am I calling myself that? You think, woman. No, I'm not gonna be like woman. Whatever. You're just like, why? Like, just grow up. Oh my, not grow up. Oh my god. I'm being deeply insensitive right now. I gotta chill. I'm being deeply insensitive to myself, I should say. Yeah, I don't know. When I was in the middle of working on this album, I had a pretty bad, like, relapse with that stuff, you know? And I really lost a lot of friends because of it. I don't know if I should go into too much detail with any of that. It's probably not a good idea. You ever hear that Twinkle Park cover of this? My god, it's beautiful. Oh, like Hazel put like Tubular Bells on it, and I was like, this is like, it's a tribute to Cassie Dead. I was so touched by it, legitimately. It meant a lot to me. I played this guitar solo. Oh yeah, hey, if I haven't been clear about this, I mean, who fucking cares? I played all the guitars on this album. Excuse me, burping a little bit. I played all the guitars on this album. We got Lane after this album. Lane is a better guitarist than me, full stop. I'm a better guitarist than I was when I made this album. But hey, here's the thing. You don't have to be a good guitarist. You can be a shitty guitarist. Fucking nobody cares. What matters is that you're putting your heart and soul into the music, you know? It might sound a little corny, but I mean, really, that is what matters. Like, nothing else really fucking matters. Anyway, yeah, there was some spoken part I had before that was like, oh, tell the sunset to go fuck itself. And it's like, that's too emo. I get why people would call this album emo, though. I don't get why people would not call Plastic Death emo, though, because that album's so emo, too. Just because I know how to use metaphors doesn't mean I'm not a emo fucking fuck. Hey, if you're a parent, like, don't beat your children. That's the moral of the story. I really do remember living on a couch. I mean, of course I remember it. It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2016. That was the year when they put a Cheeto in the White House. What? I was sleeping on a couch. I was overstaying my welcome with one of the sweetest people I've ever known in my life. And we would talk about emo bands, and I would write songs like this. You really should tell people you love them. I'm so bad about this. I really am so bad about this. I can't believe I tried to make a second album after this. Literally, this is not something that you can replicate, and it's certainly not something you can replicate when you're on a label and stuff, you know? And it's certainly not something you can replicate when you're on a label and you're even more in the closet than you were when you made this, and you're super depressed, you know? Yeah, I didn't know how to do fry or false chord screams then. And you know what? It's better for it. Because I knew how I wanted to scream, and the way I wanted to scream was like a fucking faggot. I don't like macho screams. I like screams where it's like you're scared. It's like somebody's gonna kill you or whatever, you know? Wow. I feel like I've probably said this so much that it probably feels ingenuine at this point, but I genuinely do not feel like I made this album. It's really hard for me to put myself in the shoes of the person who made this. To the point where it just doesn't feel like it was me. Even though in a lot of ways I feel more connected to myself then than I do feel connected to myself in the interim period between then and now, you know? In a lot of ways I do feel more connected to who I was then than who I was like a year ago. But it also feels totally foreign to me. Like, I can remember in a sort of detached way, I can remember tracking this stuff. I can remember details of writing these songs or whatever. But to put myself in the headspace of feeling that deep drive to make these songs, the emotions that I was putting into them, like that whole side of it, and then to take that drive going to the point of like, this is something I need to get other people involved with. This is something I need to put on the fucking internet for everybody in the world to listen to and form an opinion on. That is very hard for me to relate to now. And I guess I'm just glad that it's mostly worked out okay for me, you know? I kind of have this album to thank for getting me out of a lot of the stuff that I was really writing about when I made it. It's kind of wild to think about, you know? I mean, I'm not rich, but I'm definitely not as broke as I was when I made this. I'm not as depressed as I was. My pitch is so bad here. I keep learning again and again, though. People really, like, deep down, even if they say they do, they really don't give a fuck about pitch. People would not talk so highly of Bob Dylan if singing was just about technique, you know? And I'm not the most familiar with Bob Dylan. My Bob Dylan is probably Daniel Johnston, you know? But I think he's a little more mainstream, maybe. I don't know. Some synthesizer sounds here. Dallas is a fucked up city. I actually have a lot of affection for Fort Worth, if I'm being honest. I like the water gardens there. It was cool seeing Kendrick Lamar shoot a music video there. I just can't. It's hard for me to separate Dallas-Fort Worth from what I was going through when I lived there. I think it's a landscape that lends itself well to that feeling of complete alienation, you know? It's not a kind place. I mean, the people, Southern hospitality, all that. I mean, the very land itself, the architecture of the buildings is not kind. It's really, really funny to me when people complain about the vocals on this album, honestly. I mean, like, I'll complain about the vocals on it because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, but it's like, you really think this would be better if I, like, hired some session singer? Like, you think that would be a better album? Like, legitimate, like, be so real with me. Like, it's not about the fucking technique. It's like, of course I was gonna sing it because I was the only one who felt it, you know? Yeah, this whole section was inspired by Venetian snares. That was my introduction to breakcore before all this like glitch art anime stuff popped up, you know? I was introduced by a friend who is now transgender, so stereotypes and all that, you know? No, I don't know, there's some modern like breakcore kind of stuff I like. I'm not a boomer. I swear I'm not a boomer. I'm trying as hard as I can to never be out of touch. I really always try to appreciate what young people are doing, you know? Especially like other young trans people, trans women, like making music out there. Like, I'm just supportive. Like, it's impossible for me to not be, you know? I like Fentanyl. She's very nice. We've only talked a little bit, but... most, a lot of, I will say this, a lot more trans musicians, especially trans, like, furry musicians, a lot more of them know each other than you maybe think. I've met a lot of very cool people through furry music. A lot of people much more successful than me too, which is very nice. I feel like people don't really have mentors. Just in general, like, it's not that common of a thing these days, and it's very cool for me to look at people who are further along, who are doing great, you know, who are like me in a lot of ways. And that is as specific as I will get here. I love this part a lot, the cymbals and stuff. That was inspired by Autotune. I don't know if it sounds like them at all, but I was obsessed with Autotune. I'm still obsessed with Autotune. Who am I fucking kidding? Warp Records fucking owns my life. This song had a sample of Sonic Youth at one point. Hey, I like Sonic Youth. I don't know. I already talked about this synthesizer sample and stuff. I honestly don't have that much to say about this one. This is not one where I was exactly bearing my soul, you know. It was just kind of a little interlude, which I guess is a little funny to have after a song like Dallas, where it's like, yeah, this is a childhood trauma song, you know. That being said, I mean, I think the last time I played this a minute ago, I was calling it filler or whatever. All that being said, like, I wouldn't cut this song. It's fun. Nothing wrong with this song just being a little fun. Even if it is after a song like that last one, where I say the kind of stuff that I say on that last song. I can see why people would think this stretch of the album is a little weak, though. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I have a lot of fucking compassion for this album and for the version of me that made this, even though it's hard to, in any tangible way, connect to those memories. I have a lot of empathy for that version of myself, you know? These days, I don't know what to do. Yeah, there's a little bit of like Wolfpack in this part too. The intro's Animal Collective, whatever. Everybody knows about Animal Collective. If you don't know about Animal Collective, I'm really glad that you don't have brain worms from the music board of 4chan or rating your music or whatever. I mean, I don't mean to be a shitty asshole about it, because the truth is, the kind of music that people are obsessed with on websites like that, it's good music, you know? There's a reason for it. You ever hear this album on vinyl? That sounds really good on vinyl. And I was like, hey, who did the vinyl master? We should get them to master Plastic Death. And I asked Run for Cover, and they were like, oh yeah, it's just your digital master. And I'm like, really? Because my master sucks. This album is so badly mastered. I mean, I don't give a fuck. You think I want this album to be mastered well? No, I don't give a fuck. It's you know, bedroom pop or whatever you want to call it. It's a Brian Eno quote, you know? You know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I mean by the Brian Eno quote, then I love you. You're a special human being. You're an individual. You know? Yeah, so this song is written in 5/4, which is like 4/4, but there's an extra quarter note at every measure. That's so wild. Can you believe it? There's so many quarter notes. What the hell? Well, I'm out of whiskey. I think you can hear some traces of chiptune in this. Have I talked about... Hey, listen, you know, when I was... Okay, this is maybe getting into, like, the, like, Casio stuff more than anything, but, like, I really got my start in a chiptune scene. Like, even in the early days of Glass Beach, it was chiptune shows, you know? And I have nothing but fond feelings for that time and those people and... you know, all this sort of chiptune labels and organizations that I was like getting affiliated with then, you know. Nothing but good feelings. Like it was really nice to get my start in a scene where I could play at a venue like The Smell or something and go up on stage in a skirt. And even though I like really didn't pass at all at the time, like, and just feel like I'm safe, you know? It was a really cool scene. Even though I really didn't make anything resembling chiptune for that long, like after the first Casio album, you know? And that's fake bit. I wasn't using a Game Boy. I was using VSTs. But I have a lot of affection for chiptune. I think people have some idea. I remember seeing some article that said like I had chiptune roots that I don't want to speak of. That's not fucking true at all. I love chiptune. It really does suck to see the way that music gets kind of poisoned by discourse sometimes, you know? What a weird song. Probably the most hated song on the album. I mean, I get it. Like I said a minute ago, like, I know it's abrasive and annoying and stuff. I just thought that was cool. Oh. Yeah, this song. This is a fucking vent post and a half. You know how normal it is when you are a cisgender male to look in the mirror and be like, oh, why am I not a woman? Kind of inspired by like Spirit of the Beehive or something, but you know Spirit of the Beehive. They're pretty cool. I like them. You got a song that's like, I suck the devil's cock, or whatever. And it's like, that's great. I mean, yeah, time goes by and nothing's changing. It's because you're not on HRT, girl. I mean, there's like a sort of double entendre with soft, like the word soft, where I think it kind of speaks to the way that when you transition, there's a level of new things coming in that make you feel more comfortable with yourself. But there's also a level of stuff that was always true about you that you learn to see in a new light. You know? Like being soft as a man is a bad thing, but being soft as a woman is a good thing, you know? Soft in the sense, both of like being emotionally soft, like you're a weakling or whatever. Hey, I think some of the track transitions are a little fucked up the way I'm listening to this, just so you know. So if you're very used to listening to this album and some of that sounds off, I'm really sorry. But it is the way it is, and there is nothing I can do about it. Well, there's a couple things I can do about it, but who cares? You know how the album sounds like. You can go listen to it on Spotify or whatever. Go get me more streams. I've already got more streams than most of the bands I'm influenced by, so... For some fucking reason. Can you believe millions of people want to listen to this fucking crap? Spiro and Estra from Vanuatu, man. Vanuatu. I know I pronounced it wrong. I fucking know I pronounced it wrong. I'm such a piece of shit. I am a horrible human being. Oh my god. There's sort of a recontextualization of being out of your body, because that's kind of it's honestly a feeling that's a little difficult for me to relate to, because once you start transitioning, I think you feel a little less at odds with your body. It's a continual process, you know, but when you're in that state where you're not transitioning, but you know you're trans, like you're not like taking hormones or whatever, but you know that you're transgender, like, it does feel in some ways like being at odds with your body, you know? And so having an out-of-body experience is the kind of ideal. But at the same time, that's dissociation, babe. You know? And hey, I'm no stranger to that. Let me tell you. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I don't fucking know the person who made this. I don't remember much. I think that's maybe something that differs a lot about Plastic Death, like ending with I am a human body. This really speaks to not being in your body as being a good thing. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine, like genuinely, could you imagine if I got somebody else to sing any of this stuff? Like, you ever hear that one Steely Dan song where they got a different singer? It's dog shit. Like, it's like the best singer ever on a Steely Dan song. Like, the best lead singer, I mean. And it's dog shit. You gotta have a singer who fucking sucks sometimes. I'm sorry. Yeah. Bossa Nova, baby, Bossa Nova. Everybody loves Bossa Nova. I can't believe we're getting to the end of the album for a second time. And also my laptop is about to die, so I'm probably gonna have to stop this anyway. Also, I'm so drunk. I'm not stoned anymore. I didn't mention that. I smoked some weed, and I had a decent amount of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, baby. That's the kind of shit that I used to drink back when I was making this album. I used to get so drunk and so stoned all the time. Just, you know, it's just kind of whatever you can do to not face the reality of how miserable you are, you know? This is so badly mixed. Cringe! It is badly mixed, but I don't know, whatever. I don't know, Malibu I just mentioned because it rhymes. I was talking about seals in San Diego, the truth is. You ever go to the children's beach or children's pool or whatever in San Diego? There's a lot of seals there. And I loved seals. I was so obsessed with seals back then. It's really funny. Like, God. I was such a different person. I don't know. Like, literally to the point where it's just, I'm not talking about myself. I'm talking about some other girl online or whatever, you know. And can you imagine I made all this and then I grew out my facial hair and for the music videos and stuff, and I was like, I'm non-binary, and everybody called me a dude and a man and a guy and all that, and I hated it. And I hated myself so much. Meeting on the moon? Oh, it's like in the song Glass Beach, you know? I mean, it's just pointless optimism, you know? It's completely pointless optimism that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't say anything. Yoshi's Island says something. It says, take fucking estrogen, you fucking fool. This song is just vibes, I don't know. And I ripped off the chord progression from a song from Revolutionary Girl Lieutenant. I can't believe I was so scared to listen to this album again. It's kind of a vibe. Like, it's kind of good, actually. I really thought it was bad. Would I say I'm happier now? Probably. Yes. No question I'm happier now. The sort of background noise is a little better. But it doesn't just get better. It doesn't just end, you know? It's every day. Every day, like, keeps being a struggle forever and ever, you know? But there's a point where you just gotta be like, damn, I really have kept with it for so long. Like, maybe... maybe I do like myself a little bit. Like, maybe I do, like, kind of want to live. Like, maybe a little bit. I'm such an emo little fuck. My God. Thanks for putting up with this. Putting up with it. I am my biggest hater. What am I doing? Who am I trying to impress? Here's the famous full minute of silence. The famous full minute of silence. The album's still not technically over yet. And now it's over. Cool. That is the end of the thing that I made that completely turned my life around and is my career now. Can you believe that? That precise 60 minutes of music is responsible for me not having to work terrible jobs these days and being like pretty much more happy than I was then. I mean, I'm definitely more happy. I shouldn't downplay it, you know. I think it's kind of easy for me to forget just how dark it was then, you know. But it's a cycle, you know. It comes and goes. Like I look at like earlier this year, even, like, I don't know, like I was like I was on the band account on Twitter and I was looking at drafts and I was like, damn, in like January I was like fully ready to like tell my fans like, come assassinate me. Like, I was fully ready to tweet that. There is something wrong with me. There is really something wrong with me. But hey, I'll tell you, there's one less thing that's wrong with me than when I made this. There's a lot less things that are wrong with me, actually. Hey, I am on the path to recovery. And I'll tell you this, I have not tried to kill myself in a little bit. That's pretty good. I've not cut my wrists in a long time. That's pretty good. That's worth something, you know. Yeah. So I'd say I'm doing pretty good. I'm pretty happy. I think things are just all right. I think everything's gonna be great in 2024. You know, I feel like everything in the world is just going so good right now, especially for transgender people. I feel like we're just on top of everything. What am I doing? Oh, well, that's the first Glass Beach album twice. Why did I not call the second album the second Glass Beach album? The main reason is because I fucking hate you, No. No, I don't know. I mean, it was an era, you know? It was a thing that I made that I couldn't replicate. And I knew if I tried to replicate it, it would fall short and people would be disappointed. So since then, it's really just been like, let's just do something completely different, you know? But I guess why I'm doing this right now is because I feel in the past couple months or so, I've really just felt a appreciation for this album that I didn't feel when I made it, that I didn't feel after making it, and that I sure as fuck didn't feel for the last couple of years, you know? Like, I really thought this was a complete fucking piece of shit, and I didn't understand why so many people treated it like some complete masterpiece, you know? And I think now I understand it a little more. And I think I understand more who I was then and what I was doing and what I was going through. And it's just, if anything, I just feel a deep sadness for all the years between then and now where I was so afraid to transition because of the spotlight that was on me because of this, you know? I really thought, despite making something that above all else like appeals to queer and transgender people, like I really thought if I was overt about that it would kill my career, you know? I thought that I would get so much hate for it. I mean, hey, that's true, you know? I've definitely gotten my share of hate, you know, like, yeah, you know, for the music, like, that's whatever, because that, I don't think people really viscerally mean that, but, you know, like, as a person, too, you know, for my identity or whatever, I've gotten a lot of hate, obviously. Like, obviously. Like, there's no avoiding that, you know? And I think it just speaks to, like, how fucking important it is to transition, you know, that it ends up worth all that. And it'll just make you so sad that that there is so much against you, you know? But it's a whole lot better to be out than to try to hide that, you know? And to me now, it's so important. Whatever I can do to be visibly trans or whatever, you know. I don't want to be visible. I want to be invisible. I don't want to be a celebrity, you know. And I'm not a celebrity. Maybe to some I'm famous, you know. I don't think I'm famous though. I don't think I'm anywhere close to famous, you know. Not a household name, not even a household name in rock, not even a household name in like online indie rock, you know. But famous enough to have a relationship with some people where there are people who are absolutely obsessed with me that I don't know personally, you know? And I want to be I want people who listen to my music to see who I am, and I want to be open about who I am and proud, you know? And I am. I think I am. Like, yeah. Here's to more Glass Beach albums, you know? I mean, really, I'm taking inspiration from this album now more than ever before. Plastic Death was so against this album in so many ways, and I think people picked up on that, and I think a lot of people were mad about that, which I understand, because I mean, like, if you really like this album, like, I get seeing the band behind it going in such an intentionally radically different direction and being like, oh, do they just like not think it's good? But I do think it's good, and I'm taking a lot of inspiration from it these days, And I really... I'm just so glad that stuff's not as bad now as it was then, you know? Above all else. And I hope if you're listening to this right now, if you're in a rough spot, I just hope things get better for you. Like, honestly, if you're transgender and it's like hard for you to be open about that, I hope you get to a place where you can be open about that. And I think that when you do that, you will be a lot happier. Okay. I think I'm going to end it here because I am starting to cry a little bit. Good night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed hearing my fucking album twice and hearing me talk over it. Bye.